Joni Booney in the house. Let's go!
I bought this book because of the cover. I saw it on Barnes & Noble. It was on sale, and I said, I have to get it. Enchanted Library, Faye, the cover, please. I have to see what this is about. I have book 2 on pre-order. It comes out in July. I think it's July 8th. I think so. And I have it on pre-order because the cliffhanger this left me on. Y'all know how I am about cliffhangers. And this book is I'm giving this book a 4.5 out of 5 because of the cliffhanger. Without that, this is a 5-star book. I think it's my first 5-star book, you guys. And the other ones, again, I left y'all on cliffhangers. I gave y'all 4 stars. Y'all left me on cliffhangers. So, it's okay. But this book was it, okay? I read my sister's book. Just like when she wrote her book, I could feel the love she put in it. I could feel the love that was put into this book. I love this book. I was not expecting it because it did start off a little slow. And I was trying so hard to follow what was going on at one point. And I was like, I'm missing something. So I need to stop, slow down, rewind. I think I went back like 2 chapters to get myself back on track. I'm like, what did I miss? Or when I read at night at 2 in the morning, I be forgetting sometimes. So I got to run it back. But I'm glad I did because that gave me what I was missing. So with Lord of the Wilds, is humans are beneath the Fae. The Fae are like the Fae are the bad guys. And Lore and her friends and family live in Dustmere, which is where all the humans live at, and the Altherians, which are the Fae, see themselves as their betters, like hierarchy. They're up here, they're down here. They live on like the outskirts of town. They can't leave. They don't allow them to leave. They can't wander nothing. People treat them like they're stay away from them. They're humans. They're vile. They're disgusting. It's like, bro, chill. But someone from the kingdom where the Arthurians live went and got Lore, and they wanted to get her to work in their library because they couldn't enter the library, but they wanted to use humans to do it to see if they could. So that's what the whole premise of it is about. And then Lore goes on her own little adventure with Asher and Finn. We're going to get to them as well. It is a really good book. Very great story. Very great adventure. The drama, the twists and turns, the cliffhanger, all of it is good. So Lore and her family is from Dustmere. They live there with Altherians guarding all around them, which like the Dark Fae, or I don't know if they consider Dark Fae, they're just regular Fae, but the Altherians guard them. They're not allowed to leave Dustmere. They are pretty much mistreating them while they're there. I didn't really like that very much, but it is what it is. Lore's human, so I'm team humans. Forget the Fae. I love Fae in my other books, but yeah, no. We're not loving Fae in this book. Except Fendrel, but we're going to get there. Her and Gray is her best friend. They're like, yeah, we got to get out of here. Well, Gray is, but Lore is more on them. Yeah, been there, done that. My family tried it. I'm good. Like, I don't want to give myself false hope trying to escape because where are we going to go? We don't know anything about past where we're at right here in Dustmere. So she ran the convenience store for her aunt and her uncle. And one day, 2 Altherians came in looking to buy a gift to take back home. And she was telling about how she could read, I think it's called Old Altherian or Old Fae. I can't remember what it was, but I guess they took an interest in that. Shortly after, there was like an earthquake or something happened, and everything, the little bit that they do have in Dustmere, was destroyed. And she ran to her aunt and her uncle, making sure their kids were okay. Her aunt and uncle ran an orphanage. I don't know if I said that or not, but she ran to them to make sure that they were okay after Grace saved her out of the store because it was crumpled. The store pretty much was destroyed after the earthquake happened. In the process of doing that and checking on them to make sure everybody's good, they're trying to figure out how they're going to rebuild. 2 Arthurian guards came to get Lore because they said she needed the castle. They needed whoever ran the convenience store. They needed them at the castle. So she didn't want her aunt to go. She was much older than her. And she was like, I'll do it. She said, I'm the person that runs the store. So he took her to, seemed like more against her will, but it is what it is. They took her to the kingdom where the Arthurians live. And they pretty much told her, I think his name was Cyril. I need you to go into our library and look for anything that could be magical or enchanted. It needs to be organized, it needs to be clean. We're not allowed to enter. They cannot enter their own library or it would get them up out of here. So they decided, okay, let's try human. Let's see if she can get in there. Of course she could, no problem. So once she was there, she was stuck with having to be around people who despised her, and then having to clean out the library was huge. And I don't know if Laura was just short or the Arthurians were tall, but she's like, she was real little. And she's like, there's no way I can get this done in the amount of time that y'all need me to get it done. And he was like, oh, well, you're going to be here for a minute anyway. Just take your time. She thinks she can go back home. No time soon. So now that she's at the castle, the name of the castle is Windland Castle also. I don't know why I couldn't get that at first, but it was Windland Castle. That's where the Arthurians live. She told Cyril, okay, I'll go into the library and do all this cleaning up and find anything you need me to look for. But I need you to send help back to my people in Dustmere because they pretty much just lost everything with the earthquake. Send aid, like they need healers, send them to go help them. He was like, okay, yeah, we got you. We're going to send people. Just go ahead and get to work. That's what she did. Day in and day out, she in and out of their library, doing everything she's supposed to do, cleaning up, dusting, trying to find anything that's enchanted or magical that can help them figure out how to, now I think it was like to navigate something, like to stop a war or something from happening. Laura was doing what they told her to do, but long time she was in there, she never found anything. But she was looking for stuff that could tell her about where humans are from and things that they could do and stuff about how their bodies work. She didn't know any of that, oddly enough. But she did day in and day out. Eventually, she ran into a guard, Asher. Asher was on like her detail. Like, I'm coming with you every day. He couldn't go inside, but he would walk her to and from every day. He would have dinner with her. He would get up in the morning to go get her, wake her up to escort her to and from the library every day to make sure she was doing her job. And if they found anything, it got to the point where him doing it every day, of course, her and Asher got close. So they had like their little moments or whatever with one another, but it wasn't anything that was too serious because, like, she started looking at him like a friend, but at the same time, Arthurians looked down on humans. So she still had a rough time while she was there because even though she had Asher, nobody else really wouldn't be bothered with her. So one day, Asher said he had to leave. Like, I think he had to go to he had to go like to war or something, or he had to he changed his uniform, so she thought that he had to go somewhere else. So when he left, she was like for weeks, she was like, okay, I'm over this. Like she just felt like alone because she always had Asher right there. And one of the days she was cleaning up something, and it led her to a darker side in the library where she tried to light candles to go over there, and she kept hearing, she was hearing voices, she was hearing like some music or something. And when she followed it, she found an enchanted book. The book was empty, but she took it with her because she said she felt like it was like calling to her or pulling to her. So she took it with her back to her room. She's not going to take anything out of the library. It's supposed to be when you find something, let us know. Not Laura. She was taking the book back to her room. She was writing in it, and as she was writing in it, thing was disappearing. Well, I think at some point the book responded back to her on like some Tom Riddle's diary from Harry Potter. Yeah. With me. It's okay. So now that she has the book, every time she writes in it, it still disappears. And the book hasn't spoken to her for a few days. Cyril had came out of nowhere and he wanted to see her. So somebody went and got her at the library and she went to Cyril, talked to him. She thought that he knew she had the book. So her nerves was bad. But he was wanting to check on her, see how progress was going, gave her some snacks, something to eat, gave her some wine. Look, just let me know if you need anything. I'm here. And she was like, well, how's everything going to Dustmere? He said, everything's going well. It's going good. So you don't have to worry about it. Keep at your work. She's like, okay, cool. Went back and did her work. She went to her room that night, but she still had the book in her room. She was still writing in it. And the book was saying, we see like the stuff that you're doing, the stuff that you're going through. Give yourself over to us and we will help you. And she was like, give myself over to you. Well, I don't even know. You ain't said that to me. And I don't even know what's going on. And she said, you got to show me something so that I know what you're talking about. Like show me something I know is real because I don't know what you got going on. And the book showed her family in Dustmere. Cyril ain't sent nobody to help them people. They laying in the orphanage with no roof, laying in the dirt. Everybody filthy. Don't let nobody get no food. There's more kids in the orphanage than it was before. He ain't did nothing for them since she left. And she was hurt. She was like, wait a minute. I've been here at this one, she's been here for months. I've been here for months looking for this, trying to help y'all. And y'all did nothing for me. Y'all help y'all at the end of the deal. She said she was out of there. She was gone. She tried anything she could. She tried to escape out the side door when she was trying to leave out. Asher called her. She looked back. She was like, Asher, she's like, he said, you trying to leave? Why would you leave? You put me in a bad situation. And she was like, where have you been? I ain't seen you in like 3 weeks. 3 weeks, a month, 2 weeks, one of them. You ain't been there. She was like, I wasn't expect you to be here. But I have to get to my people because everything's going wrong. That's me. I have to get back to them. In the midst of over there having a conversation, 2 other guards pulled up, was like, oh, what's going on over here? Ready to take Asher up out of here and take Lord too. So at one point, I think the 2 guards got the better of Asher. And Lord was like, I don't have no choice. She opened the book, the magic book she had. She's like, I'll give you whatever you want. Just save Asher. And I think the book took the air right up out of the guard's lungs. They died right on the spot. And her and like a thick fog came over the forest, and they took off running. They took off running to get away from whoever. Like the book pretty much saved them. And they went into the forest trying to get themselves back to Dustmere, but they had to like go into hiding for a minute once everybody started chasing them. Everybody looking for them now. So Nana, her, and Asher on the run. They're hiding out, and Laura's looking around at everything, like everything in the forest, and she can see the ocean. She's never seen the ocean before, so she was excited to see all the stuff, and they know that everything was right here, so ready available to them. Had they knew, like without the Arthurians guarding them, how close they were to the water, they could have learned. Like they could have built boats, they could have traded, they could have fished, be able to feed the children. They loved it. So Laura was determined to get back to Dustmere because she was going to help her people in any way she could with her new power. Even though the book didn't speak to her again yet, she knew that there was something in there that could help them, that could make Dustmere better as a whole. So there's a quote in the book, and I hope I'm not misquoting it, but it says, any sacrifice that I make, like for the people of Dustmere, we can become our ancestors' wildest dreams. They hit home. They hit home a little bit. I related so much to Laura's character. And when she said that, it was a wrap. I said, I am definitely my ancestors' wildest dream. And no doubt about it. And hearing her say it is like, that's okay, I'm with you. So her and Asher came up with a plan to get to, he had some friends on the other side of town that could help them get himself back to Dustmere. He said, we're going to have to get people to help us. And we're going to have to go around and try to do it. We can't just go straight there because people are looking for us. So we got to buy ourselves some time. That's what they did. They went around to get to the other side. I can't remember where they ended up at. And the amount of people they kept getting chased by, they kept getting, Asher kept fighting off people in the middle of the night. I think at one point he flooded a bridge they was on because the guards stopped him at the bridge like a roadblock. They had to check in. They couldn't do that. They couldn't do that. So he could control the elements in nature. So he did whatever he could to get them to their friends, Isla and Fendrel. Isla and Fendrel's dad owned like a pub. I can't remember where they're at, but he owned like a pub, and I think his name was Greg, something like that. It's something with a G. And they hid out there for a little minute, and that's where she learned more about the book. She tried to be able to bend the power to what she needed, but she realized that she could only read it, or the book would only talk to her at night. So during the day, it was nothing she could do. At night, it helped her, and she started finding different, she had a gift that somebody gave her where she could see magic. As long as she held it in her hand, she could see magic around. Anything that was enchanted, it had a source, and she could see it with that stone in her hand. And then when the book would talk to her at night, she could see it, but it was in a different language that Arthurians used, and she didn't know how to read it. Nobody knew how to read. So while she's sitting there trying to learn her newfound magic and learn how the book works, and she gonna do it at night. So during the day, she's trying to find something to keep herself busy. Isla has the best hospitality. She loves to cook. She be cleaning. So she turned that pub. She did a 360 on that pub. It became a booming business again. Everybody started coming there for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and Laura was cooking. I think the dad was cooking too. They were all like, it was a big help. She turned it completely around. And then they stayed there too. So she was like, we got to do something to thank them because they letting us stay here while we try to figure this out, and we hide and we wanted all that. The best hospitality ever. I love that for Laura. So Finjal's dad, I cannot think of that man's name, but Finjal's dad gave him money to give to her. She decided to take the money and go to the market and go buy more stuff for the pub. Like, I mean, what I'm putting is, y'all must still help y'all out with it. Thank you, but I'm giving it back to you. So she took Isla with her. Isla's Finjal's sister. They went to the market. While she was in there, she was looking at everything they had out there, and out of nowhere, she made eye contact with one of the Arthurian guards that was looking for them. So now she running through the woods, running through the market, trying to get out of the way to get back to the pub so that, of course, they don't catch her. She wound up getting separated from Isla, and they caught up with her in the woods. Finjal popped up out of nowhere. I don't even think they said where Finjal came from. Finjal popped up out of nowhere, and he beat all of them. Isla still wound up getting hurt, and Finjal, he nursed her back to health and got her back to the pub. But I'm still trying to figure where you came from. We're lucky to have you here, but where you come from? I thought, I knew Finjal, I don't know if Finjal has magic or what he got going, but he got something. He know how to wield a sword, and he don't play by lore. So he took her back. I forgot where Asher was. I don't know if he was there or not, but when Laura finally got better and she woke up, Asher was like, him and Isla are going to go and try to lead the guards away to get them off their trail, so they think that we left here. So she was like, okay, I don't want y'all to go, but okay, so don't worry about it. Finjal's going to be here to take care of you. Finjal had a chip on his shoulder. He did not like Isla. I mean, he did not like Laura for whatever reason until he liked her, but he did not like her. And he was like, you really going to leave me here to babysit and watch her? I don't want to watch her. Do you just say to her, acting like that? You know you want to sit in here with her doing the most. Anyway, so during the time that she was getting herself better and trying to get back on her feet, she was going out at night to learn the magic for the book. And Finjal was helping her. They were both working together, learning the magic, doing everything they can. So he was like, how can you check on your people back home? And she said, maybe if I focus, if I use the water, I can focus to see if I can see anything. She did it. She didn't see anything. Everything was hazy or fogged or whatever. So she was panicking, okay, I'm trying to get back to them. Where are they at? So he was trying to figure out, okay, well, if you can't see your people, then try to focus on somebody. What's your best friend? Because I think she told everybody about Gray. She was like, try to focus on Gray. Let's see where he is. And she did it. And when she looked into the water, she saw Gray, but he looked like he was exhausted, worn out. He lost weight. He was distressed, and she was seeing different things, trying to figure out where he was, because she knew that he was no longer in Dustmere. Seeing the environment he was in, he was like, that's not home. I don't know where he is. So once she finally saw where he was, she went to go and explain it to Finjal's dad. And she was saying it's a queen, and they're in a ballroom, and the queen has a big beehive on top of her head, the way her hair looks like a beehive. And it was oh, yeah, your friend stuck where he at. It's what you mean? He said, that's the queen. And when you go to that castle, she gives you food and drink that will make you want to stay there. You only would desire the food and drink that she provides. And if you try to eat anything else, it'll make you even sicker. It's like some type of poison. She said, you have a harder time getting people to leave there because they would rather stay because they're so hooked on the food and stuff that she gives them. So I was like, so you saying I can't get my friend? Well, I know your friend's gone. We can't do nothing for him. We gotta move on. Think of somebody else. Think of something else, because we can't do nothing about it. I don't want to try none of that. She like, oh no, I don't have all this newfound power with this book, and I can't go get my friend. No, we out. She went to sleep. She went back down to the lake, and she was talking to the book, and she was just like, okay, we doing this. I'm going to get him. She went to the castle, found Gray. Gray was a mess. They had that man there. I don't know if he had a leash around his neck or not, but they was treating him like he was a lap dog. He was so all over the place from whatever stuff they had him on. It was terrible. And Isla, she ate some tree bark before she went there, so that because she said to drink and eat the stuff that was there. The queen was fascinated with humans. She treated them like they were her pets. It was again, guys, it's weird. The humans are beneath the fae, and they treat them very much like that. So she was like, oh my gosh, I have 2 humans. I'm so excited. Oh, we're going to get her dressed up. We're going to give her a bath. You're going to have some, drink some wine. You're here to stay. Get comfortable with it. I was like, oh, what in the world? What's going on here? So she ate tree bark. So when she drank the wine, it did have an effect on her, but it wore off easily because it had something to eat up at the poison. Gray was out of his mind. He won't try to hook on whatever she had. He was definitely drinking the Kool-Aid. She needed to put it down. Because that was not for you. I'll eventually get him up out of there, but she had to lure him with the wine to get out. So when she got him out of there, she used the book to guard, like to put fog around them, and they made it back to Fendra and everybody else. 7. So she finally got Gray back to where Fendra was. Fendra helped her nurse him back to health. Gray was a mess. That stuff they gave him, whatever they gave him, that man was strung out terribly. So she gave him tree bark to help him cough up all the poison. Same thing like how she did with her. And so he got back on his feet. Isla and Asher weren't back yet. So it was just her and Fendra taking care of him. Once he finally got his stuff together, and he was like, oh my gosh, Lord, I'm so glad that I found you. Our people have been taken from Dustmere. They were taken to Wildland Castle. I escaped to come and get you. And she's like, yeah, I saw that they're not there. And that's how I found you. I saw where you were. So I came and got you. She's like, okay, good. And he was talking about all the magic she has. Something is going on with Laura's fingers, too. I don't know why I didn't add that earlier. But since she uses the magic of the book, her fingers are turning black. Like, well, of course, like, it didn't explain it. But like, to me, I'm thinking, like, okay, they stain like ink. Like, she got, like, ink on them or something. But no, her fingers are turning black because she's using the magic. So Gray was like, what's going on with your hands? And she's like, I don't know. But we can come up with a plan to go and save our people from Wildland Castle. She's like, okay, cool. Well, he was saying, okay, cool. So what's everything? Tell me everything. I haven't seen you in forever. What's been going on? She told him everything that happened, and then talking about Asher. Isla and Asher have a thing. They shouldn't have a thing because he's out there and she's a human, but they have a thing. Anybody looking for the spice in this book? The spice is here. You don't gotta look far. And it's subtle, but it's not. She put the right amount of spice in this book. It doesn't need any more. And I say it could have used less, but it wasn't. This book I didn't see it as a book that's supposed to be like that. So what she did put in here was perfect. And while Asher was also gone, Lore and Finn had like a little thing too. When Asher and Isla finally made it back, Finn started being mean to Lore again. Unnecessary, but they came up with a plan once Gray told them that the people would move to Wildland Castle. Asher's like, don't worry about it, we got this. I know every room in there like the back of my hand. We can come with a plan, we can go in there and get them. So that's what they did. They came with a plan, went to the castle looking for them. They bounced around in 3 different rooms. They thought it was in the dungeon. Then I think they ended up in the nursery. I guess the nursery, they saw that it was locks, like padlocks on the cribs. What's about nurses? Just where they got padlocks on the cribs. We're going in here. And they weren't in there. So they were like, y'all, we're going to have to like just chill out here until later because they're trying to sneak around the castle not being noticed. Until we find them. As I said, it's only one place I can think of. And if they're there, then they're in a lot of trouble. So Laura was like, okay, take me. Let's just go. So her and Asher left to go and find where they were at. They were in some tower on the other side of the castle. A whole mess. Please. So now that her and Asher went to go to the tower where they were, and of course they were there, Asher can use his magic to access the tower. So he asked Laura, like, something that you could do with the book that can help us see, like, what's going on? Laura had something like, she sat on the ground, did that little, like, she was in, like, a meditation position. And she's like an out-of-body experience. And she went up to the window and she's like, okay, yeah, everybody's here. I see the kids. I see the women. The women are like, they're handcuffed to the bed or chained to the bed. And the kids are all piled up in one room. So he was like, okay, we can come with a plane. We can come back get them. She said, no, we're here. We're taking them now. I'm not to let them out my sight again. So they did everything, a little sneaking and finessing they had to do to get up in there to get them kids up out of there. She told Asher, go and get the women. I will meet up with you and get the kids. Like, we have to split up. There's only way we can get this done. That's what he did. He went and got the women. She went and got the kids. When she got in there, all the kids were excited. Like, oh my gosh, it's Laura, you guys. She's here to save us. We're getting out of here. But the kids wouldn't approach her. So she's like, y'all, what's wrong? She looked back. One of the Arthurians have wings. I don't know if it's like a higher up fae or what it is. I don't know. But he jumped down. He up in the corner like a fly on the wall. He jumped down, was like, we knew you was coming. We knew you was going to come and get these kids. And we got you too. You know how, like, in movies, bad guys tell their whole elaborate plan of what they're going to do and they're going to win. And instead of just doing what they're going to do, you're giving me time to, please, you're giving me time to foil your whole plan. Why don't you just go ahead and do it? Like, I don't have time for you to tell me no story. I don't want to hear it. That's pretty much what he did. And by the time he finished telling his story, Finn was there. Fendrel. Finn was there. his whole little plan, I can tell you that, his whole little plan was, we're going to use these kids as our soldiers, because that's why they wanted to the library. I think a war is coming, and they needed more soldiers, and they want to risk their faith. They're like, F it, we'll risk the humans instead. So we're going to use the children as our soldiers, and we're going to breed the mothers to have more soldiers. I'm like, what y'all got going on here? You doing what? First of all, you kidnap the kids, and then you're forcing the women to have your children for more soldiers. So get out my face. These kids leave with me. Hopefully, Ash already got the women and everybody there. Fan came in there, tore everything up. He not letting nothing happen to Laura. He loved him so long. I guess at some point he fell in love with her. He loved him so long. He ain't let nothing happen to her. Laura managed to get the kids out, and her and Fan were left to fight off the guys that were left in there trying to stop them from getting the kids. A mess. I hope I can convince y'all to get this. Okay? Y'all better go get y'all one of these. This book was so good, okay? This last part about to get shifty, though. Pun intended. All right? So, Laura and Finn, finally, they defeated the Fae. And then they're running back to go meet up with everybody else. I think they made it to a dock or made it to the boat. They went somewhere. And they had to, as they're running down the hallway, Asher was running their direction. Like, they think he come back to check on them. He's like, no, we good. Come on, let's go. Let's keep running. He was like, no, Lord, I need to talk to you right now. He was like, you can talk to me when we get on the boat. We got to get out of here. They coming for us. Like, no, Finn, you go ahead. I'm going to stay here. I got to talk to Laura. I got to do this. And Finn was like, dude, let's just come on. Why are you holding us up? Like, let's go to the kids. Like, come on, we got to go. So he's sitting there. I don't know if he said something or, well, he probably did, or he cracked a smile across his face, like one of them creepy, anything you never seen with them creepy smiles or whatever. And bro just started shifting because he is a shapeshifter. And who does he shift into? Cyril, the man who told him to go get her to begin with. And he was like, my grandfather put that in the library. I knew you found it. The day you found it, I knew you found it. I could feel its magic. I knew you had it. And I knew you were going to figure it out. I don't know why the book called to you, but I knew you were going to figure it out. The book belongs to my family. And there, I guess like a twin book or a sister book that goes with it. And he said, since that one found you, I'm sure the other one will too. And you're going to help me find it. And I'm going to use you to help save our people. And they was like, what? I'm just sitting here like, what? You like, no, you're Asher. Asher went this to me. He's like, no, like Asher first stopped playing. He was like, there's no Asher. I've been shifting between Asher and Cyril all my life. I think like he grew up poor or something like that. So he been switching. It was almost like, bro, hold up. This whole time you been on this whole journey with me. And you ain't, so who is him? He an imposter. He ain't, I said, there's no way. I'm sitting there just shocked. His Lord is, and Finn is hot. Like, Finn ready to come for his neck, but of course he got power over him. He was like, I'm not going to kill you, Finn. I'm not going to kill you. You coming with us to go find this book because I can use you to control Laura when she don't want to listen to me. And I guess he put him on a boat or something. They went somewhere, opposite from where everybody else went, to go and find this other book. Cliffhanger.